folks, if I can have your attention.
Sit over there, right in front.
They're sitting. Okay, that's better. Good. Coach Lee still has it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 40th Teal College Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is Don Ackerbaum, class of 1977, and it's my pleasure to be back acting as facilitator tonight. Well, happy homecoming. Every day is a great day to be a Teal alum, but there's just something special about homecoming, and we're glad that you're here to share it with us. Seems like it's been forever since we last gathered to celebrate Teal's athletic history. So many crazy things have gone down since the 39th ceremony. We are so glad that we have an administration with the ability to adapt, and the tent's pretty cool. We like the tent. When I left Teal 150 years ago, I was very fortunate to be hired as an industrial engineer at the Greenville Steel Car Company. If you don't remember where the Greenville Steel Car Company is, it's that big hole to the south of Sheets, so apparently I wasn't a very good industrial engineer. As an industrial engineer, my job was to review, analyze, and if possible, improve processes. One way to improve processes is to generate as much symmetry as possible. Webster defines symmetry as a beauty of form arising from balanced proportions. And symmetry is what we're experiencing tonight. Let me explain. Our first inductee grew to be an incredible leader on the Tomcat football team in the early 2000s. His attention to detail, his intense practice regimens, his commitment to excellence, and his ability not only to reach his full potential, but in some ways surpass it. Will Dante Darby please stand? While he was reaching for and achieving greatness, he was also teaching those skills to a group of eager youngsters who would grow to simply refuse to lose. And that brings us to our next honoree. Will Coach Jack Liebheim rise? Jack is representing the 2005 PAC champion Teal Tomcats. Your team, Coach, broke all types of records on the field, but probably more important, ignited a campus, an alumni base, a usually non-interested community, and turned a bunch of can-do footballers into the feel-good story of the century, which leads us to our third honoree tonight. There is no sense having a feel-good story of the century if you're unable to properly tell the story. And we had the good fortune that year and every year since to have our own Alan Adale. Will Hugh Ringer please rise? Hugh's infectious enthusiasm helped tell the Tomcat story, and we're glad he's being honored with the others tonight. Like I said, symmetry. Throw in not 2, but 4 outstanding young alums being recognized, and you have the makings of a great night. So what do you say we get the night started on the right foot? The past 18 months have been incredibly difficult for all of us, but even more so for organizations like Teal. To sail through the turbulence of a global pandemic and all that comes with it takes a steady hand on the tiller. We are very fortunate that the captain sailing the SS Tomcat is a great sailor. She also happens to be an exceptional college president. Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th president of Teal College, Dr. Susan Traverso.
Thank you, Tom. Well, welcome home, everyone. What a great homecoming weekend we're having. After a great day of golf and many activities on campus, I welcome you all, along with Dawn, to this wonderful Hall of Fame dinner and celebration. I'm pleased to welcome everyone here, including the inductees who were just introduced. Of course, Dante Darby. I look forward to hearing more of your story, as well as our undefeated PAC championship football team. Later in the program, we're going to hear more about these outstanding athletes, and you'll understand why they're being honored and recognized. Tonight, we celebrate teamwork, competition, drive, initiative, individual success. The Hall of Fame is a celebration of the proud tradition of Tomcat athletics, a tradition that continues to grow and build. I think this year's honorees know the importance of discipline and endurance, and they know what it means to set goals and achieve them, and that's what we do at the college. every day, students, faculty, staff, and our alumni base. The Hall of Fame inductees this evening join an elite group of alumni who are student athletes, and as student athletes established impressive records at Teal College, and after college lived lives of leadership and purpose. Congratulations, 2021 inductees. You are important to the legacy of the college. Year after year, Teal continues to attract outstanding students who excel in the classroom and on the playing field. And we have a few of our current students and student athletes on this year's Tomcat football team. Welcome, we're glad you're with us. Like the honorees today, our student athletes at Teal, whether on football, soccer, the wrestling team, lacrosse, all of them embody the values of Teal in that they strive to reach their full potential. And thank you, Jack, for always remembering that important phrase. I want to thank everyone here for continuing to support the college. We are deeply grateful for your continued commitment to Teal and to the students we serve. You're always welcomed on campus, not just at homecoming, always. Teal is a special place for all of us in this unique and different ways, but together we share Tomcat pride. And so now it's my privilege to invite Vice President for Advancement, Roberta Leonard, to come forward to give us the invocation. Thank you. Welcome.
If I could ask you all to bow your heads. Our most gracious God, thank you for allowing us to come together today. Tonight we give you praise. We celebrate our honorees. We celebrate excellence, competition, camaraderie, and teamwork. Thank you for allowing us to remember a time when the campus came together as Tomcat Nation to support a team through an amazing season. Thank you for the teammates who are with us tonight and for those that celebrate from a distance. Thank you for the grace and the glory, and for always blessing Teal College. Thank you for this meal, and for the hands that prepared it. We ask these things, as we ask all things, in your name. Amen.
All that's left now is to enjoy the dinner, and we'll talk again soon. So I'll see you in a little bit. First thing we'd like to do is thank AVI. They provided a wonderful dinner tonight, so if we can give them a round of applause. We do have a bit of housekeeping to take care of before we hand out the honors this evening. We're always proud when Hall of Famers are on campus, especially when they return for this event. At this time, will all Teal College Hall of Famers please stand and be recognized? There'll be a lot more after tonight. We're also grateful when members of our tremendous administration, faculty, and staff take time away from what is probably the busiest weekend of the year to help celebrate our history. Will the current Teal leadership please rise and be recognized? While keeping with our theme of symmetry, what do you say we meet some new history makers? The Charles Evanoff and Jaylen Trimble Awards are given to a male and female athlete from the previous year's senior class who, in the judgment of the coaches, best demonstrated qualities of scholarship, leadership, character, and sportsmanship, in addition to participation in athletics. The Charles Evanoff Award is named after Teal College Hall of Fame wrestler and football player Charles Evanoff from the class of 1964. The Jaylen Trimble Award is named after former Teal volleyball and softball coach Jaylen Trimble. When you have a double major of neuroscience and psychology and graduate with a 3.87 cumulative GPA, and when you're a member of the prestigious Dietrich Honors Institute, as well as the New Rose Side Neuroscience Honors Group, and when you attain the Dean's List status 7 times, you would think you'd have to spend all your time in the library, but not Gage Gladys. Gage managed to find his way onto the wrestling mat. In fact, he found his way there 93 times during his time at Teal, and he walked off that mat victorious 70 times. He even managed to find time to qualify for the NCAA D3 National Wrestling Championships twice and won the PAC 197-pound title in 2019. A 3-time National Wrestling Coaches Association Scholar All-American, Gage qualified for the PAC Spring Academic Honor Roll in all 4 years he was an undergraduate. Completing his master's degree in speech-language pathology this past summer, Gage gave of himself to St. Michael's Church and for the Greenville Lions Club. I didn't know Chuck Evanoff well, but I'm pretty sure he would approve of the 2020 winner of the award that bears his name. Ladies and gentlemen, from the class of 2020 and the graduate class of 2021, Gage Gladys.
All right, Gary.
Thank you. Having spent nearly a year of my life working on building the softball field at Tomcat Park, I have developed a special place in my heart for softball players, so when a member of that talented group is honored, I smile a little more broadly. The 2020 Jaylen Trimble Award winner is Leah Roytek, and saying she can play softball is saying like that Charles Dickens guy can turn a phrase. Appearing in 123 games for the Tomcats, Leah was so proficient at her craft that she rewrote most of the record books. All-time leader in runs scored and walks, second all-time in hits, fourth all-time in batting average, and fifth all-time in stolen bases. Her offensive prowess earned her 3 All-PAC honors, first team in 2019 and second team in 2017 and 2018. She was also named to the 2019 All-Tourney team after leading the Tomcats to the runner-up spot in the PAC tournament that year. No slouch in the classroom either, she was a member of Beta Beta Beta, Psi Chi, and Chi Alpha Sigma honor societies. Named to the Dean's List 5 times, she was a 2-time College SID of America Academic All-District Team honoree. A sister of Sigma Kappa sorority, Leah kept herself busy with causes such as Teal's Pan-Hellenic Council, even starting a stint as president. She volunteered at Stray Haven Animal Shelter, St. Paul's Senior Living Community, and the Good Shepherd Center. Leah is currently pursuing a master's degree. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2020 Jaylen Trimble Award winner, Leah Roytek. 6th year doing this, and these people just get younger and younger, and I get bigger and bigger, and pretty soon they're not going to be able to see them, they'll only see me. Coming back to the future, the 2021 Jaylen Trimble Award winner is Alex Garacy. Being recognized as a senior female student athlete with the highest cumulative grade point average is probably enough to win this award, but Alex didn't stop there. She is a member of Chi Alpha Sigma, the National College Athlete Honor Society, and graduated magna cum laude with the Department Honors last May with a degree in environmental science. Earning a spot on the Dean's List 5 times, she minored in wildlife biology and carried a 3.6 cumulative grade point average. And oh, did we tell you she played a little lacrosse? Yep, she excelled at the sport for 3 years, being named captain for 2 of those years. A member of the 2021 PAC sportsmanship team, Alex scored 17 goals and had 6 assists for 23 career points during her career. Couple that with 42 ground balls, 31 draw controls, and 28 caused turnovers, and you have an award-winning career. Always looking to serve others, Alex was active in the environmental club, where she served as the club's vice president. Her love of the environment translated into cleanups in her hometown, as well as at Riverside Park in Greenville. Alex was happy to represent Teal and the lacrosse team at fundraising walks such as Light the Night for Leukemia and Lymphoma and the Heart Walk for the American Heart Association. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Garacy. Andrew Jeezy began his Tomcat baseball career with a bang, being named the PAC Rookie of the Week on April 24, 2017, after hitting .411 with a pair of doubles and 3 RBIs. It was just the beginning of a very productive Teal career that would eventually lead to the Charles Evanoff Award in 2021. Andrew was named captain of the baseball team for 3 years over his 5-year career. An All-PAC second team selection in 2018, he batted .309 with 43 hits and 20 RBIs, but his career peaked when he was named a 2020 Academic All-District First Team honoree as selected by the College SIDs of America. He was named to the PAC Sportsmanship Team in 2021 and was named to the PAC Academic Honor Roll 4 times. Obviously a hit in the classroom, Andrew graduated summa cum laude with degrees in Business Administration and International Business in May 2020. His 3.85 cumulative grade point average as an undergrad earned him the Dean's Key as an 8-semester Dean's List honoree, as well as departmental honors. Andrew also served his alma mater as a member of the Dietrich Honors Institute and a host of class and major honor societies. He paid it forward, serving as a resident director, a resident assistant, an ACE fellow, and worked with the Teal Student Support Network. He earned his master's degree in business administration this spring in the 2021 Charles Evanoff Award tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Jeezy. Semesters I was here, I think you get to 3.85. It may be a stretch. The Meritorious Service and Commitment Award is presented to recognize managers, trainers, and other deserving individuals associated with Teal College athletics. You can spend a lifetime searching for greatness, and sometimes greatness is standing just to your right wearing headphones. This year's Meritorious Service and Commitment Award winner is Hugh Ringer, and he epitomizes greatness. A while back, we followed the Tomcats to Chester, Pennsylvania to broadcast a game against Widener. While setting up, a student broadcast team from Widener came in to go over pronunciations. They told us that they had found the broadcast of a recent game with Allegheny on YouTube. They went on to tell Hugh how he had made the Teal Allegheny game sound like the Super Bowl. 3 new members of the ever-growing Hugh Ringer fan club. I gotta tell you, it's like traveling with Bon Jovi. I tell this story because it demonstrates the reach and overall significance of Hugh Ringer. Broadcasting D3 football games is not easy. We know that our audience is made up of parents and grandparents plus a group of alums at St. Paul's. But we also know that our audience is probably more invested emotionally than the audience of the network broadcasts. That's also the greatness of Hugh Ringer. He has the ability to put nervous grandmothers at ease with the sound of his voice. And oh my goodness, what a voice. Hugh Ringer is an artist. His canvas is the airwaves, his subject our beloved Tomcats. His tool is that amazing voice. A voice right out of central casting, but as incredible as that voice is, it's only as good as the mind behind it. Hugh Ringer became a broadcaster while he was still in high school. WPIC wanted to hire him and send him to its broadcast school. Graduating from Youngstown State while hosting a weekly radio show instead, Hugh went on to become a world-class educator and a forensics coaching legend. It was his teaching that gives Hugh Ringer his empathy for our student athletes. He simply cares about the young men we cover as if they were his own students, and that comes through in his broadcasts. Remember the grandmothers listening? I've lost count of the number of silver-haired ladies who have hugged him in the parking lot after a game, thanking him for something he said about their little boy on the air. He's kind of an AARP sex symbol. He works hard at getting to know our student athletes, trying and succeeding in coming up with just the perfect nickname. The human bowling ball, Little Lambert, names that make a D3 game feel just a little bit bigger. And that's what we try to do. We know that 99.9% of these men will never play it down in professional football. But Hugh Ringer has the gift of making our broadcasts sound as if they're in the NFL today. Nobody does it better. He pushes our broadcast team to new heights of professionalism every Saturday. But what separates Hugh Ringer from the rest of the broadcasters is his insane preparation. He's asking for the Teal depth chart before Coach Winslow is done recruiting. He carefully scripts his opening using broad brushstrokes to paint a picture for our audience, from the clouds floating by to the piping on the opponent's pants. Greatness is as much preparation as it is inspiration. Please welcome the Teal College Hall of Fame Meritorious Service and Commitment Award winner and the golden voice of the Teal Tomcats, Mr. Hugh Ringer. Stand over here to your left like I always do.
Mr. Ackerbaum.
I'll try not to talk.
Mr. Ackerbaum introduced me at the President's Athletic Conference luncheon a few weeks ago when I received an award, and I made comment to the audience then, and I probably ought to do it now. If you believe half of what he said, you're more naive than I think you are. But seriously, it is a real treat to work with Don Ackerbaum, and I have now for a number of years, 15 to be exact. He's the senior color man in my broadcast career.
Only feels like 25.
Yeah, that's right. And I've worked with some great ones here at Teal. In fact, you may not know Ed Topolewski, Sports Information Director, worked with me, I believe, for 1 year, and we had a great time. And some of you may remember a safety by the name of Brad Yoder way back when. He was with me on the broadcast the year our team went undefeated in the regular season and won the PAC championship. And I will never forget the call in the last game at Carnegie Mellon in triple overtime, I believe, where we needed to score. And Darryl Satterfield goes back to pass. Most of you guys remember it well. Fired it down the right sideline for the guy that I called the Mercurial All-American, Brandon Chambers, who went up and caught the football. But I was looking through my binoculars, and I said, did he catch that? And Yoder started yelling, he caught it! Hugh, he caught it! We win! What a moment that was. And I think most of you would remember that moment as well. But it's always been a thrill to work with some great personalities like those gentlemen. And I'll never forget the 2 years that I spent with a great alum, and I think still on the board here at Teal, Rod Wilt. Most of you know Rod, and I'll tell you what, I never saw anybody who could multitask the way he could while driving a car. And he had more stories than you can imagine. Most of them were about politics. I learned more about politics than I ever wanted to learn, but what a thrill it was to spend 2 years behind a microphone with Rod Wilt. You know, when I retired from Mercer High School in 2004, I got a call from my boss at WPIC, Bob Greenberg, and he said, Hugh, would you like to do some college football broadcasting? I said, oh, I don't know. I think I just need to relax a little bit. He said, you know, I think I have a gig for you you might like. And he started talking. He said, I understand it's fun to broadcast Teal games. And he said, oh, by the way, they serve great food in the press box at halftime. I said, well, that's encouraging. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give it a try. Well, 17 years later, folks, I am glad I took the challenge to do the broadcasting. Naturally, you'd like to win every week. It's kind of tough when you don't, but still, it is a very, very positive experience. And to think that I started in 04, and then in 05, we won it all in the PAC was just absolutely unbelievable. And my memories of that team are forever ingrained in my brain, and I know they will remain there forever. Some of the greatest moments I had was getting to develop friendships with so many of you former players. I tried to get down on the field so that I could meet you and talk with you, and I got to know you, and what a special group you have been. You told me what your nicknames were. I'm a nickname guy, and I love to call people the human bowling ball, and Danny Hess loved it. He absolutely loved it, and I think he loves it to this day. And the memories just keep coming back, and I was thinking about them on the way up to this wonderful event tonight. It is indeed an honor for me to receive this award. I am humbled by it. I didn't go to Teal, but I love Teal College now as a result. One other thing Bob Greenberg told me, he said, I think you'll like the colors they wear up here. He said, you're a Pitt fan, you like blue and gold. He said, they have blue and gold up there. He said, wear the same clothes you wear to Pitt games. So I pretty much did, and that definitely helped. But it was so great to be here tonight. I congratulate all of the honorees, and I'll tell you, Dante Darby, it was great to renew friendship and acquaintance with you. And I have to tell you very briefly before I close, one of the things Dawn referenced in my preparation that I like to do is get as much personal information as I can on the teams, on the opponents, and on the individual players. So as soon as I could get out of the booth after interviewing Jack Liebheimer or whoever was coaching at that time, I always went down on the field, and when Leap was still coaching, I went down on the field. First guy I looked up was Dante Darby. And I said, well, Dante, what can I look for defensively from the Cats today? And you know, he gave me little tips that helped me on the broadcast. And I remember a couple of times I said, well, I kind of think at this stage in the game, something special's coming up here, folks. So get ready. And I thank Dante Darby for that. I never saw him play football, but I've heard enough to know he was a heck of a player and a great coach. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm so proud, so honored to be here. Teal is a great place. I don't know how many more years I'll be doing it. As long as my voice holds out, I'll certainly, and as long as you want me back, I'll probably continue to do it, especially if I have a great guy to work with like Don Ackerbaum. Thank you so much.
You have to build a new trophy case. We're getting, I had to use the same speech that I used at the PAC thing because I couldn't think of anything else to say. It's just an incredible guy. Dante Darby is currently the linkage coordinator for the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. A linkage coordinator is a mentor, motivator, and life coach placed in targeted schools to address and monitor the academic, social, and emotional needs of ninth graders. He has held this position since 2013. I can make the case that he's held this position since about 2002, working not with ninth graders, but with Tomcat football underclassmen. Talk about someone born for the job. Dante Darby is a Teal success story. His was not a typical tenure as a Teal student. Like many of us, there were hiccups and countless stops and starts along the way. Dante graduated from Shaw High School in 1996. He graduated from Teal College in 2004. Perhaps not a typical path, but an incredibly impressive show of staying power, discipline, hard work, incredible professors and administrators refusing to give up, and a self-determination that could not be stopped. Dante Darby the student sounds an awful lot like Dante Darby the football player. As a linebacker, Dante was a force to be reckoned with by opposing offensive coordinators. A four-year starter, his crushing tackles inspired teammates and disenfranchised opponents. When Dante arrived at the ball, mayhem was sure to ensue. He was a three-time All-PAC selection and was the Tomcat defensive MVP all 4 years he played. He was named to the prestigious Lutheran Brotherhood All-American team in 1999. Darby is credited with bringing down opposing ball carriers 322 times, including 42.5 times he made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, further demoralizing opponents. Those numbers are still third and fifth all time. It's safe to say that when quarterbacks broke the huddle, Dante Darby was the player they found first. His resume says he began his coaching career at Teal in 2005, but it really began his freshman year as a player. He trained for his current position by mentoring, motivating, and serving as a life coach for every one of his teammates long before they officially started calling him coach. Dante Darby received his Master's of Education degree from Walden University in 2012 and has been shaping young lives for 2 decades, but none more important than his sons Dante Jr. and Dominic. Dante has been married to Dr. Tiffany Darby for 14 years and is very active in the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, the first international fraternal organization founded on the campus of a historically black college or university. His duty and service community focal point has him being involved in voter registration drives and serving meals to the homeless. He has taken a step back from his coaching career to focus on the budding careers of his sons. But we all know that Dante Darby will always be a coach, and after tonight, he will always be a Teal College Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a number of us here who could not be prouder to introduce Dante Darby, Hall of Famer.
I'm sorry, man. So typically when I speak in public, I just go off my heart, but this is a time that I can't forget people. So Swartz, this is a humble one. Where you at, Swartz? It's a humble one. Coach, he texted me last night. He texted Thursday. He said, I need a speech like you did when you came out in your football uniform for homecoming. I can't give it to you tonight. I can't. But I'm gonna give you to him. So first and foremost, I'm humble. I really am. I know a lot of people say it's a long time overdue, but I'm here. I'm back home. It is what it is. First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Jesus Christ, man, because anybody who know my journey through Teal knows it couldn't have got done if I ain't have, my Lord. And y'all got to bear with me because I got a lot of thank yous right now. I got a few thank yous. I want to thank the committee. First and foremost, I want to thank the committee for selecting me. I know y'all heard as far as with my journey through Teal, and I can get through that a little later. Next, I want to thank Dean GJ. She's not here, and everybody in this room know who Dean GJ is. She was like the person that I can go to anytime I wanted to on campus. If I needed help, if I needed guidance, I needed some support on campus. She was the person that I always went to. Next person, I know he in here. I met him earlier, Dean Olsen. Where Dean Olsen at? Dean Olsen, just to give y'all a story of me and Dean Olsen. Me and Dean Olsen, when I first came to Teal, I was an athlete student. I wasn't a student athlete. And that's me telling my truth. Yeah, y'all get it. Yeah. I was an athlete student. I wasn't a student athlete. And I got kicked out of Teal. And when I got kicked out of Teal, I went home and I started working at an alternative school, but I was the one who was looking in the mirror telling kids to stay in school. Do your work. Come to school every day. And I literally had to take a step back and look in the mirror and be like, well, you're talking to yourself. Called Dean Olsen. I'm trying to come back to Teal. Me and Dean Olsen literally sat down. He like, let me tell you something. This is it. If you don't finish, you ain't coming back. And that's pretty much what he told me. If you don't finish, you're not coming back. So when I came back, I appreciated Dean Olsen for giving me that opportunity to finish my education here. And I appreciate it wholeheartedly and humbly saying that to you. Next, Coach Amato. My man. Coach Amato was the one that recruited me when I was at home. People don't really know Teal wasn't never even one of the schools that I even looked at. I had got schools from D1 to D2 schools, and at the end of the day, the school that I was actually going to, which was Central State University, at that time in 1996 was going through financial debt. Head coach ended up leaving, and he took the whole coaching staff down to Tuskegee University. Didn't say nothing to the recruits. That's how I tripped and fell into Teal. And I remember telling Coach Amato, I'm not coming to Teal. I had never been up here. I never visited Teal. I never even knew what Greenville, Pennsylvania even exists. And Coach Amato relentlessly called me all the time. Even when I told him I wasn't coming to Teal, he still called me every day. He didn't matter. So, Coach Amato, my man, I appreciate you. Thank you. Next, Coach Lee. Coach Lee, for teaching me practice what you preach. I was up under a coaching staff when I first got here that was totally different from the coaching staff that the class of this 2005 team got an opportunity to be up under. Coach Lee taught me with high character, integrity, and helping me become a student of the game. I always thought that I knew the game, but I really didn't know the game until I got with Coach Lee. Me and Coach Lee had a special bond that a lot of y'all probably don't even know. We would sit down on Friday mornings. He would get, everybody know, he would get his Diet Coke. He would get his pretzels with the peanut butter in them. Or he had the pretzel sticks, either one. And he would pull out a chessboard. And we would go through every check for the defense every Friday at 12 o'clock. Y'all might not know that, but me and him did that every Friday. And every Friday we would move the chess pieces. He was like, where they supposed to go? If they motion this way, I would move the chess piece. Well, what happens if we do this? I move the chess piece. That was our relationship. Till this day, I have that poem, Little Eyes Upon Me. Remember that? And you gave it? Yep. He gave me that for my son when he first was born. And the poem speaks about being a role model to those eyes that child sees. And I still have that poem right now on my wall in my office. My sons look at me and they just look at me as dad. That's it. I never brag on myself. I never really talk about myself to them. I let other people talk about it. But the lad, I want to thank all my D linemen. We're admitting that. Chuck here. And my 3 techniques in my nose, I'm sorry. They kept people off of me so I can run around. Those are my dudes. Keeping offensive linemen on me so I can make plays. And at the end of it, it wasn't just about me. Next, my mom and my dad. My dad not here. My dad passed 3 years ago. He was the one that introduced me to the game, and I'll just leave it like that, because if I keep talking about my dad, it'll be something different. We didn't have much as a family, but I always made sure that I had what I needed. My dad, like I said, he introduced me to the game. I love you. Continue to rest in paradise. My mom has always been the saving grace for me. And when I say saving grace, if my dad knew half the stuff she didn't tell me when I was growing up, y'all might not even see me on this stage right now. Last, my loving wife. Even though you were part of this journey, we started our own journey as a family. The Teal family know my oldest right here, he was born in Teal. That 2005 team, that's damn near y'all adopted son right there. So, like I said, 16 years ago, man, she moved from Cleveland to come down here to stay with me. We've been married for 14 years, period. And they, like I said, dudes, you don't even know these are your uncles. You don't even know. So, but coming from East Cleveland, Ohio, where my population is 97% black. I came into a rural town, small town, that I had no idea what I was getting into. And the biggest thing, it was a culture shock. I had no ambitions, like I said, of coming to Teal. But the biggest thing, when I got here, I said, I'm gonna make the best of what I had. When I got to Teal, like I said, I was set to go to Central State, who was just coming off a D2 championship. They just won a D2 championship. The coaching staff had left. They went to Tuskegee and left all the recruits in the limbo. So it was a school that was always calling me, and like I said, it was Coach Amato. And when I got down here, it was something totally different. I can promise you that. This campus, even the 2005, when y'all got here, this campus was nothing like this. Mike McKinney could tell you. He could tell you that because me and Mike played together. First day of practice, I'll give y'all. First day of practice, I had practice jersey on, number 11. From the age of 8 till I graduated from high school, I wore 55. Where my Zane? Zane at? Zane. When I got to Teal, 55 didn't exist. So I was pissed. I'm not even gonna lie. Because that was my dad's number that he wore all his life. So that was the number that I had. So whoever the coach was, I remember the coach, and I won't say his name. He was like, well, what number do you want? I want 55. But we don't have 55. So I looked down, said, give me 11 then. He was like, why would you want 11? Nobody has ever done nothing in number 11. I said, you ain't seen me play yet. So he said, that's yet to be seen. Like I said, I'm not gonna say his name. It was cool. I said that Teal was a challenge. And as that challenge, one of the biggest things that I took as being here as a player was this 2005 team. They was all babies to me. And I always wanted to instill that when y'all got to a point where y'all was seniors, y'all seen the best. I was the best that y'all was gonna see every day in practice. That's why by the time they got to 2005, they was just running muck on every defense that they seen. Hendricks, Munch, Neal. I remember y'all was babies to me. But I made sure that I knew when I left here, when y'all seen any linebacker on the other side, we already done practiced against the best. I was the best that y'all ever seen. I know I was. I see you, Hess. And like I said, my biggest challenge, and I'll tell you personally, Coach Lee, was when you moved me to middle linebacker. That was a challenge for me because I never been in the middle. I played on the outside all my life, but he put me in the middle. And being in the middle, you in the belly of the beast. You in the guts, you in everything. And if anybody knew, like I said, our relationship, me and Coach Leap had got to know each other so much that when I would be on the field, I would do the hand signals before he even did them. He could tell you that because I already knew what he was gonna call. So when we would run tan, net, it was because I already knew what he was gonna call. Any blitzes, I knew it was coming because I knew at this down and distance situation, this is what Coach Lee gonna call. I became a student. Not only did I become a student of the game, but I became a student in the classroom. And as I got older, I realized that's where it was. And that's why I say my relationship with Coach Lee was totally different, because when I was ineligible, me and that man sat down. He didn't know me from a can of paint. We sat down, he went down every single class. You need to get this, you need to get this grade, this grade, this grade, this grade, this grade, to get this GPA to be able to play on my field. It wasn't about football for Coach Lee. It was about me as a man making sure I walked across the stage with a degree in my hand versus I don't care how many tackles you make on Saturday with me. And that's why I always look at you as like my other dad, for real. And that's why my relationship with you is something crazy. I tell all my friends, try to live your life the way you want to be remembered. My dad always used to tell me, try to make a blind man recognize you. You know how hard that is? That means your name being called a lot. My tackles, camaraderie, all of that, it was the best. But my time at Teal definitely taught me life. It taught me that you need to be able to intermingle with different cultures. You need to be able to intermingle with different races. You need to be able to have fun. Teal is what you make it. That's what it is. And I'm sure a lot of you guys y'all can sit back and y'all can sit and tell these stories. I don't know if it's some guys in here that's on the football team, but I can tell you the one thing that separated this 2005 team from any team that I ever witnessed was they was really all brothers for real. When it came down to it, if something went down, if 70 people, if one person got in trouble, they all got in trouble. If one person got an AR, they all did the AR with that person. That's why y'all laugh, because you know I'm telling the truth. So even though y'all might be, y'all might not have the wins that y'all might think y'all want to have, but remember, this 2005 team was in your same shoes. I promise you they was in your same shoes. They stuck together. From them going to having fun, to partying, to being able to come into practice and work hard every day. Please don't give up on this process, man. Because this 2005 team, I promise you, they can tell you they started really, literally from the bottom. And then they worked their way as probably the best team ever to come through Teal. So try to leave your life better than you found it. And what good is success if you're not willing to share it? And I'm up here because of y'all. It ain't just because of me. I know I have my own accolades and things of that nature, but I'm here because my teammates, and at the end of the day, for the 2005 team, my goal as a senior was to put y'all in a position to have y'all be up here getting recognized, and just know that y'all played with one of the best, and it was me. That's it.
So let me see if I have this straight. If Dante Jr. belongs to the group, in about 6 years we can expect an application coming back to Teal. Is that what we're saying? Okay. Coach Winslow, you got his name in a file somewhere? Wow, how do you begin to talk about that 2005 Tomcat football team? I think the story has to begin almost at the end. On a mid-November Saturday that broke unusually warm for Greenville that time of year, with a sky unusually blue for Greenville at any time of the year. The crowd was huge, the tailgate parties like none we'd ever seen, and the media requests. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette had sent a reporter, albeit as a favor to the Pitt Chancellor, who happened to be a Teal grad, to interview folks on campus and published a front-page article sending hundreds of potential students into the guidance offices the next day to asking how to spell Teal. The president's box was turned into a media center. Alums who hadn't stepped foot on campus for decades were calling asking how to get tickets, only to be turned away because there were no tickets to be had. And oh, by the way, the day ended with the dismantling of Johns Hopkins University at Alumni Stadium. Yeah, that Johns Hopkins. 16 years later, for many of us, it's still the best Teal memory of 1,000 Teal memories. That was the 2005 Tomcat football team, and what they meant to the campus and an alumni base starving for just such a moment. Okay, I'll take a breath now and talk more like an MC and less like a fan, if that's possible. If I mentioned just how good this team was, let's run the list. President's Athletic Conference champions, first in nearly a quarter century. First undefeated team since 1950. First ever NCAA playoff bid. First ever NCAA playoff win, the aforementioned Johns Hopkins. Yeah, still that same Johns Hopkins. Ranked in the top 20 in 3 national football polls. Set 24 school records. Ranked nationally in the top 25 in 7 categories. First ever All-American to be invited to play in an All-Star game. First ever 1,000-yard rusher. Head coach was named Coach of the Year by 4 different voting bodies. Defensive coordinator, now a defensive coordinator in the Big Ten. Offensive coordinator, becoming a head coaching legend at Albright College. 20 Tomcats earned all PAC honors, including 2 already in the Teal Hall of Fame. First National Offensive Lineman of the Year, named All-American in 4 polls. 14 postseason national awards. Did I mention these guys were pretty good? But the mantra, reach your full potential, didn't just count on the field. This team was heavily involved in the community. Sponsored a child in East India. Volunteered for free youth football clinics routinely. Sponsored campus events like the National Alcohol Screening Day. Worked with local high schools. Led the way for local cleanup days. Provided needed muscle for Good Shepherd and St. Paul projects. We all know this team is special, but before I bring up our own greatest of all time coach, let me sum it up how I've been summing it up for the past 16 years. In the past 20 years, there have only been 4 members win a PAC championship, and my alma mater is one of them, and Grove City isn't. Please welcome the head coach of the 2005 Teal Tomcat Hall of Fame football team, Jack Liebheim.
Thank you, Don. Well, I'll tell you, it's great to see everybody. It's hard to believe that it's been so long since we've been together. Dante referenced Dean GJ, and I'm going to reference her as well in these remarks, but I'll let you know that I texted her earlier this evening to make sure that she knew that this event was taking place and this honor was being bestowed upon this 2005 team. And she texted back and made sure that she wanted you guys all to know that she's thinking about you and she loves you. You know, football has been played at Teal College for 116 years. And in that time, there's only been 3 other teams that go undefeated. No team has won more games than you guys did. And you're the only the 4th football team to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations. You have certainly earned this honor. The 2005 team consisted of 36 juniors and seniors, 24 sophomores, and 44 freshmen. And everyone contributed. From the young guys on the scout team giving a great look on each week, to the backups who were ready to play at any moment when their time came, and the starters who prepared relentlessly. Over the years, I've been asked many times, how did you do it? Well, I didn't do it. It started with a committed administration, especially Dean Roseanne Gill-Jacobson, who believed in our vision and did everything possible to support us. We would not have accomplished this without her. Next, we were able to assemble an outstanding coaching staff, men of character who were tremendous teachers and recruiters, and who were dedicated to the development of the young men in our program. And then, most importantly, you, the players. Young men and their families who believed in the value of a Teal College education and the vision of our football program. A program that measured success by how committed you were to RYFP. Reach your full potential to be the best person, the best student, and then the best athlete that you could be. A program that measures success in that fashion. You understood that you would be held accountable for your actions, not only on the field, but also in the classroom and in your social life. Where's Straussy? A group of young men who believed that we was more important than me. You know, it's truly amazing what can be accomplished when no one cares who gets the credit. A group of young men who possessed an overpowering will to win, who refused to back down when things didn't go their way, and who believed in each other and trusted each other to do their 1/11th. A group of young men who in 2005 refused to accept defeat. You know, we could have easily gone 7-3 that season. How many teams in the same season can be down 14-0 to start a game and then come back, tie it up, put it into overtime, and beat the nationally ranked W&J? 0. How many teams can be down 21-0 in the first quarter, as we were against Waynesburg, and rally back, tie it, and beat them in double overtime? And then you already referenced the Carnegie Mellon game. We were down 14 points at the start of the fourth quarter, if you remember, because of my brilliant fake punt call.
Yeah, thanks.
You guys, you refused to let me screw it up. And I can't thank you enough for that. But down 14 points in the fourth quarter, and come back and tie it, and take it into overtime, and then again in overtime, and finally win it in the third overtime. I think the best way to describe you guys is you played with tremendous heart. 2005 was truly a special season, and I'm extremely proud to be able to stand here before you and represent you. And I'm very proud to have been a small part of your success. But I'm even more proud of how you have since, in these past 16 years, have impacted your families and your churches and your communities. You have proven that ordinary men can accomplish extraordinary things when they focus on the process of being a little bit better today than they were yesterday in every aspect of their lives. As I say, it's an honor to represent you at this Hall of Fame induction. And I know I speak for all of you when I want to say thank you to all who have made this possible, in particular your families and your parents, especially your parents, who made it possible for you to attend Teal College. And personally, I'd like to thank Dean G.J. for providing me with the opportunity to be the head football coach here at Teal, and her unconditional support. It meant everything. I want to thank Don Ackerbaum. A lot of you probably don't know this, but in 2005, Don was a vice president here at the college, and if it wasn't for his persistence and his efforts, we never would have hosted those NCAA playoff games here. He's the man that got it done. I want to thank the Blue Gold Club and the Hall of Fame Committee, and especially Ed Topolewski, for making this possible. I want to thank my daughters, Shanna and Krista. You're my biggest fans. I love you both, and I'm so proud of the women you have become. And finally, I want to thank my wife, Patty, of 48 years. You've always supported me and inspired me. You're my best friend, and I would not be who I am without you. I love you. As I close, men, let me leave you with one thought. As you continue to celebrate this memorial occasion tonight, let's remember to be the best behaved group on campus. Let's remember, and had I had a chance to address you before the evening started, I would have said this to you then, but I will say it now. Enjoy the first one. Let's sip the second one, and let's skip the third. Once again, congratulations.
We have some mementos for the 2005 team, so when I call your name, if you could come up across the stage, and Ed will hand you your thing. John Adams. Johnny. Frank Amato. Matt Bannister. Coach Bill Brest. Sorry about the Grove City crack.
Don't be sorry, Don.
Dante Darby. Rock Davis. David Duran's deployed overseas, but I believe there's a representative here for him. Is there someone here for David that can come up? Mark Gilmore. Lee Glasser. John Herrickle. Dave Hendricks. Danny Hess. John Howson. Ryan Jordan. Matt Joy. Justin Kubin. John Paterna. Chris Lorber. Matt McKinney. Chris Minton. Steve Minton. Nelton Neal. Barry Oman. Antonio Quarterman. Hugh Ringer. Corey Russell. Joe Shalley. Michael Stimac. Kevin Strauss. Sam Schwarzenegger. Percy Sneeding. Scott Thompson. Mike Winslow. Aaron Zane. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2005 Teal Comcast Hall of Fame football team. And Hugh would ask me to ask you guys if there's anybody going to be at the game tomorrow. Stop by the booth. We'd love to get you on the air, talk about old times, and basically I won't have to do anything. You guys can just have my headphones, and we'll let Hugh talk, and you guys will have a lot of fun, and I can check out the food in the booth. We'd like to now ask Dr. Traverso to return and make tonight official with her proclamation and induction.
What an evening. Can we thank Don? Made official with his proclamation. Be it known on this first day of October in the year of our Lord 2021, we are gathered here on the campus of Teal College in Greenville, Pennsylvania to enshrine Dante Darby and the 2005 football team into the Teal College Athletic Hall of Fame. This action publicly proclaims those principles and values inherent in and enshrined by the Teal College experience as exemplified in the lives and the careers of the aforementioned. They, by this induction, bring honor not only to themselves and their families, but also to their college. May their accomplishments here recognized serve as a lasting challenge for future generations to discover the best that lies within their hearts and minds through disciplined pursuit, achieve excellence of the highest honor. As president of Teal College, I hereby declare that they are now officially enshrined in the Teal College Athletic Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Once again, we'd like to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for a job well done, for Dr. Traverso and her excellent staff for the fine job they're doing with the stewardship of Teal, especially in these unprecedented times. As you enjoy the rest of the homecoming activities, please consider a generous gift to Tomcat Athletics, either through the Blue and Gold Club or the Teal Fund. Amy, the coaches, Dr. Traverso and her staff are doing a great job putting teams together and making sure the facilities are sufficient, but folks, it's never enough. So if you can, please consider a gift or pledge before you leave campus this weekend. Roberta and Mark would love to spend Monday morning sending dozens of thank you notes. Happy homecoming, everybody, and let's keep each other safe. So, did you want to do a team picture somewhere? Where can we do that at? Okay, the bar is going to stay open for another half an hour or so. Remember Coach's mantra about just standing there and looking at the third one, apparently. But it'll be there for you. Team photo is going to be right here in front of the podium. So.